Can you hear me? Oh, man.
Hello, how are you guys?
Oh.
Oh shoot, I can't hear you. Let's see. That might be something wrong with mine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, you can't. Oh, you know what? Wait, is it coming? Can you say something?
Hello.
Oh, it's coming through. I didn't even plan that. Okay. I'm gonna switch it.
Can you all hear me? So we have a great show for you all today. Miss Leah Schaffner and gentleman Jeff Allen, they're going to be the two presenters today. Round of applause for them. Come on. And let's get the show rolling. Over to you guys.
Okay.
Awesome. Jeff, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am Jeff, and I'm from King County, and I live in the city of Bellevue. So, and I am the social media coordinator.
Can you give a little more information about that role?
Basically for King County and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
Awesome. And I am Leah Schaffner, and I think I know everybody, but it's really great to see you guys. Originally, I was actually not going to be doing this with Jeff. He was going to be working on this with someone else, but we're going to be doing it today. So I'm really going to be relying on Jeff because he has a lot of knowledge as the social media coordinator for the King County area. So really that means his job is to work with other volunteers in King County to help share news on social media that is specific to King County. And we're going to share with you guys some of what that looks like, and other areas have that too. He just happens to be in King County. So we're excited to talk about social media. We have a presentation today we're going to go through. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them as we go along. You can raise your hand or put them in the chat. All right, can everybody see this? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So, Jeff, can you get us started with just a little bit of an overview of what we will talk about today and why we're covering social media?
So basically, the reason why we're talking about social media is because there's a lot of you guys probably use like either Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or any of those social media networks. So the reason why we'll be talking about it is because we will be trying to find out how many of you guys use like other networks. So we'll probably be taking a poll and stuff to see what you guys post. And on Facebook, also, we'll be sharing what's appropriate and what's not appropriate to post on Facebook. And especially on Facebook, she will show this that it has to be strictly to Special Olympics. So on Facebook, and Leah will share that with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll go through all those details. We're excited to talk about it though, because we know, a lot of people use social media, and Special Olympics really uses social media a lot too, as a way to share information, and as a way to connect with people. So that's why it's important to talk about. You're all leaders. And so this is a really, great tool that you have. So let's get started. Just quickly before we start, these are the same expectations that we always have, but I'll quickly run through them. The first one is to be respectful of the person that's talking. So Jeff and I will be sharing today. So if you can keep yourself on mute when you're not talking, so we don't have background noise. If you have questions or comments, feel free to raise your hand or put them in the chat. I can't see everybody right now, so if you can use the Zoom raise your hand, that makes it easier. If not, just feel free to unmute and sort of tell us that you're wanting to ask a question. Engage in the class, so we want to hear questions, we want to hear comments, that's all great. And minimize distractions. Yeah, Tim, do you have a question or comment?
Yes, because of what you guys were talking about, social media, you should be sure to post appropriate photos or videos, and not photos that could get you kicked off of social media like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube.
For sure. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to talk a little bit about safety on social media and online. So Tim, that might be a good place to talk about that.
Oh, and then also the other thing is, do not post any personal information like your phone number, your address, or your age.
Did you see the slides ahead of time? You are spot on. So Tim, hold those thoughts and we're going to come back to that in a few slides.
Okay.
But you're spot on. Okay. So the last reminder before we get started is, again, the parking lot. We talk about this in all of the trainings, but just a reminder, the parking lot is a term that we use to say good thought, but not right now. So we might ask you, if you are asking a question or have an idea that is not quite related to what we're working on, we might ask you to put it in the parking lot. This doesn't mean it's a bad idea, but it's just not quite what we're talking about. We don't have enough time to talk about it. So then you can write down the idea and we can talk about it later. Okay. So let's get into it. Jeff, I'll pass it to you and I can launch the poll.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna, so we're just going to find out what kind of social media you guys use. So while she's launching the poll, feel free to, what social media you guys use. So.
Okay, the poll is open. So there are two questions. The first one is, how often do you use social media? From very often, which might be every day, somewhat often, which is every few days, not very often, maybe just once a week or a few times a month, or maybe you don't use it at all.
And the second question is, what social media platform do you use? You use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, and there's TikTok and others.
So take a few minutes, and you can select multiple for what kinds of social media you use. So take a few minutes. We just want to get a sense of how familiar everybody is.
Okay, Leah.
Yeah, Amanda.
So I've clicked on two things on here. I use YouTube and I use TikTok. I'll use the others.
Oh yeah, that's great. You can select as many as you want.
I use YouTube and TikTok, and that's it. I'll have those on my phone. The only
Yeah.
two things I have on my phone is YouTube and TikTok, and that's it.
And that's totally fine. Yeah, I think, everyone uses different ones, and that's why Special Olympics is on a lot of different social medias because people use different things.
Yeah.
So I think there are two more people who haven't finished it. So just take another minute if you want to, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, I'm gonna end it. So you guys can see, looks like we've got a bit of a mix. Most people use social media every day. Facebook looks like it's the most common. YouTube is pretty common, Instagram. So just interesting to see, we're all using different things. A lot on Facebook, which is good because Special Olympics uses Facebook pretty often to share information. And it's good to know that that's a place, if you use Facebook, it's okay if you don't, but if you do, that's a good place to go to get information about Special Olympics. Okay. So, Jeff, I'll pass it back to you, and we have a few more things about this slide.
Okay.
Actually, maybe we could ask it first. How would anyone here, how would you answer this question on the slide?
The question that social media is something that you use if you want to find out what other people are doing.
Ooh, that's a good answer. Anything else?
Or it can
Also,
or it can also be something that you're looking up, like particularly Special Olympics or any other stuff like what I like to look up is PBA stuff, which is Professional Bowling Association.
All right, Jeff, will you call on some others that have their hands up?
Yeah,
Are you able to see on your screen? We have a few people with their hands raised.
see if I can hold on.
Here. While you're looking, I'll start with Crystal.
One sec. Yeah. I believe social media is one of those to keep in contact with family and friends and maybe to get some info on see what other people are doing kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are good uses. Devin?
I believe that social media is a place where you can market stuff, like for example, like books or poetry, on stuff like that.
Ooh, absolutely. I'm glad you said that because I think, so it could be a good place to market things like that. It also could be a good place to market Special Olympics. You guys are all leaders and you're trying to share things and recruit people, and it's a really cool place to do that too. Colton?
I like to use YouTube to watch YouTube videos that people post.
Yeah, and there's a lot you can find. It can be really useful. You can go and learn about anything you want on there.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen the Special Olympics channel?
Not yet. Just got back.
Yes, I have seen it, and I think it is such a fantastic YouTube channel, and I also think that Special Olympics has done a great job on their YouTube channel.
Well, so after this, we'll send out a bunch of links, and later we're going to look at some of the Special Olympics social media platforms too, and just kind of see what's there. Andrew, and then Vanessa.
Facebook is great instead of stay in touch with all your friends and family.
Stay in touch with your friends and family. Yeah.
And computer, they got them tell you about stuff you need So, but yeah.
Absolutely. You can share different things and, you know, as leaders, let's say you're, you know, recently there is an request out for athlete leaders to help recruit volunteers. So that's something you could do on Facebook because you're connected to friends and family. You could let them know what you're doing and see if other people want to get involved. Vanessa. Nice to see you, Vanessa and Kevin.
Yes. I am so sorry. We're volunteers anyways. We're coming to PIU for Special Olympics keeping scores.
Yay!
So social media means I can socialize my friends, family, or my coworkers or Special Olympics people. See how they're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. That's a good one. Chance, and then we'll move on.
Like your grandparents and your dad.
Absolutely. Yeah. Keeping in touch with friends and family. Awesome. Jeff, do you want to share what we have on the slide here?
Yeah, so the forms of electronic communications create online communities to share information and ideas and personal messages and other contact.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So these are a few examples of what this looks like for Special Olympics. So I'm sure you guys have seen this. Later, we're actually, as I said, we're actually going to go onto Facebook and just look at the kinds of things that Special Olympics does. Think about how you can support Special Olympics on social media as athlete leaders. Here is a pretty awesome picture of Amanda playing basketball in a spotlight. So Special Olympics will do things like highlight our athletes and what they're doing so people know what Special Olympics is all about. This one in the middle, this is actually on Instagram, and this is telling us about how you can donate to, this was for the USA Games, so Special Olympics might use it to get donations. And then this last one is an update, so it's also a way to share information. So this is on Facebook, and Special Olympics is saying we have an update on our spring and our summer season. So this is where you can get information. And it'll direct people to the website and other places to keep people up to date. Okay, so Jeff's gonna go through and share just 3 to kind of explain the difference between different platforms.
So the 3 that Special basically uses is the Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. So pretty much I would say the Instagram is kind of a little different than Facebook. I mean, it basically it's kind of like Twitter almost, but a little different than that. You can post like photos and stuff like that. So it's kind of similar to Facebook, but not really. Not other people can see it. Only you yourself and other athletes can see it as well. So kind of if you want to post like stuff from Instagram onto YouTube, like Facebook, I can share it with Facebook and all the other athletes on Facebook that don't have basically Instagram. You have to have Instagram account to basically see the Instagram pictures from like USA Games, or it might be sporting events like maybe soccer, softball, whatever. So that's basically what Instagram is.
Yeah, so Instagram is more about photos. And then how about Facebook, Jeff?
Facebook is for everybody to see. Facebook is basically, if you think about it, it's like basically like an open book. Anybody can basically read it like an open book on Facebook. So everybody can see it that has a Facebook account. And the same with YouTube. YouTube is, you can just basically do it on Google. You can basically download it on Google and watch videos from like the Athletes Connect or other forms of Facebook, like basically Special Olympics.
Yeah, so here, let's go into some specifics. Oh, Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, when you mentioned about YouTube, let's just say that you missed a program that that you wanted to watch on TV. Well, if you just wait for a few minutes or a day, they will post it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely. You can find
or if
lots-
you forget to record it on DVR.
That's a good way to use it too. And Special Olympics uses it for so things like this. We're recording this right now, and Austin puts all of these on YouTube so people can watch it later. And what we can look at the YouTube, the Special Olympics YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, and YouTube, you guys can also record yourself and make, like, for the pole barrel plunge, you can make videos of that as well and post it on YouTube of you guys, you know, donating to like Special Olympics.
Absolutely. Okay. So, I'm going to start us off here and then we're going to look at Special Olympics Facebook. So, a few things. Let's see first, how many of you have Facebook and use Facebook? Everyone just looks like, let's see. I think, wait, can you keep raising? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like most of you do, not everyone. That's okay.
Leo.
I don't. I used to for a while, but not anymore though.
Leo.
Yeah.
I don't have Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
don't
most
have
of you,
Facebook at all.
Me either.
okay. So some of you do, some of you don't. That's okay. When you have to have an email address at least to start a Facebook account. And once you're on there, it's a great place you can share updates on what you're doing. If we're talking just about how to use this for Special Olympics, you know, you could share about the sport that you're participating in. Jeff mentioned the polar plunge. So when it comes time for like the polar plunge season or other things that are going on, it's a cool way to share with other people who then might support you. There are
Taking
events.
photos.
Yeah, or photos. There are events on Facebook. So like for this leadership module, there is an event on Facebook. So it's a way to learn what's going on at Special Olympics. And you can use that to maybe remind yourself or to learn more about it. And then it's also a way to connect with other Special Olympics athletes. So what I'm going to do is switch my screen here.
And Jennifer just said the torchlight run as well.
Oh yeah, that's another really good example. Okay, oops, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, so can you guys see this now? We're looking at the Special Olympics Washington page. Cool.
Yeah, I can see it.
So you guys are probably familiar with this, but if you just search Special Olympics Washington, this is what this page looks like. And this is a good place to stay up to date on things that are going on in Special Olympics, to get updates, to see events that are going on. So if we scroll down, we can see a few things. This is we're recruiting for volunteers here. So, you know, if you wanted to help us, you could share this and you could say, you know, I am a Special Olympics. Oops, let's see where it is. I am a Special Olympics athlete and I, you know, I am volunteer or I am participating in Special Olympics. I'd love for you to volunteer, that kind of thing. You could highlight different, maybe your friends are spotlighted. You could share that if you're interested. Here are some photos from the USA Games. Look, here's Austin right front and center. And let's see. So we can find a lot of different things. A lot of it is just keeping people up to date. But there's some like, let's see. There might be news. This is a news article. Or I'm going quickly because these are a lot of the same. But if we go a little further, there are then things like there are videos that are shared, or updates that are shared. So this is a good place to go to stay up to date on what's going on, and it's a way that you can just share information quickly with people that you know, with your friends and family, everyone that you just mentioned that you're connected with. The other one on here, I want to two other things. One is that every area also has its own Facebook page or Facebook group. So it'll be called Special Olympics Washington and then the name of your area. So for example, this is the one for King County. And this means that everything on here is specific to your area. So it might be that there is an event that's just in your area or highlighting athletes just in your area. And this is another really good place just to stay up to date. You can share information that you know about. So I'll make sure to send you the link so you can see information that's just relevant for your area. Daniel, did you have a question?
When was the torch run?
It's actually later this week.
Mm.
So
it hasn't happened yet?
It's not this week?
Yeah, it's this week leading up to
Yeah.
the USA Games.
I'm not going.
That's okay. Yeah, Amanda?
There is a torch run on Thursday.
On Thursday?
Yes, I'm doing it with Rihanna and Christy.
Oh, you are? Cool.
So there's a torch run on Thursday morning.
Good morning.
That's great. Sean?
If you're referring to the, well, first of all, if you're referring to the torch run, that's for the spring games. Yes, it is on Thursday morning. And I'll be participating in it from the Tumwater Safeway to the Capitol. And also, don't forget Special Olympics Thurston County Facebook is on there. And remember my healthy tip.
Yeah, so, okay, we can look at that. Will it be the capital area?
No, Special Olympics Thurston County.
Oh, so there are two. So there's this one, which Thurston County is in the capital area. So this is one way to do it, but then.
Just type in Special Olympics Thurston County. No, not Special Olympics Washington, just Thurston County.
Okay.
Yep.
So
and you
here
can also see.
one. So I'll make sure to send out these links. And then the last one I want to show you, actually, well, there are a few different groups. So there's specifically a group for athlete leaders. So this is one that you can all be a part of. And this is a place where I will share. So this one was shared because Amanda is an athlete leader. So we wanted to highlight her. Austin will share the events for the modules. And we'll also share opportunities like this one for ways to get involved as a leader. And so I'll post things like when we have trainings coming up, I'll share them on here as a reminder or other ways to get involved. Awesome. Any thoughts on that or questions?
Leah, may I throw out a comment?
Yeah.
What you just showed us, I think it is a excellent resource, because I think Special Olympics is a valuable resource.
Absolutely. Jeff, is there anything you'd want to add on Facebook?
Yeah, so when you guys are like posting stuff about Special Olympics, it cannot be like your girlfriend, your spouse or wife or whatever, because it's got to be strictly to Special Olympics. I mean, if you guys want to post stuff like that, you can post it on your own Facebook, but not on like the Special Olympics Facebook page, because that's just basically straightforward to Special Olympics. So if any sporting events you guys are doing, like soccer or swimming or whatever, that's fine. You can post stuff like that on them, because that's actually related to Special Olympics or virtual games. I mean, stuff like that too. So
that's a good distinction. Yeah, if you're using a Special Olympics group, then it's good to keep that Special Olympics related, and you can post personal things on your personal pages. Does anyone have questions about the difference between those?
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to tell between like
Yeah.
personal and Special Olympics. Like a lot of people can like get that like wrong or out of proportion, because they can't tell the difference.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, so let's look at this. So when I first get on Facebook, this is what comes up on my Facebook. So, and I can search Special Olympics Washington. We'll go to Special Olympics athlete leaders. So I am now on this specific group, and I can now add something here if I want to. I can write something, and it will have to be approved. So you can't just type on it. You will type it in, and then I'll go in and I'll say, yep, that's okay, we can post it. And that's different from just on your home screen, typing out here. And this, it says, what's on your mind, Leah? This goes to all of my friends. This goes to anybody who wants to see it. This is a good place to post any personal things about what you're doing, because this is not specific to Special Olympics. But when you go to a group like, there are a few here, like athlete leaders, this is where you want to keep it specific to Special Olympics. Sean?
So what you're saying, Leah, is that if it doesn't have to deal with either Special Olympics or athlete leaders, then you probably shouldn't post it, right?
You can still post it, but that's something to post just on your own personal page. So that's like when you go to the home screen, you could post that here, or you could go to your own account and post it here. That's just you. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, Sean?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what about on that athlete leaders posting healthy tips?
That's awesome. That's one you could do anywhere. You could do that just on your own personal page, or that's something you could also do on a Special Olympics page.
Okay, I'll think about doing that next time when I post it on the athlete leadership one besides the Thurston County.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay. So let's go back. Let's keep going. These are good questions. Jeff, any last words before we move on to Instagram?
I think also like, you know, if you guys have also on Facebook, if you guys have any other like health messenger, you know, classes that you guys are taking, that's okay to post as well. So because that's basically also related to Special Olympics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Vanessa?
We just had an event last weekend for the golf tournament.
Yeah, I saw some photos. That seemed awesome.
Yes, we did. There was only 4 of us. 4. Four athletes. Yeah. There was only 4 of us that went to that tournament.
Just go.
People were donating at our booth, and we took.
They offered.
They offered to donate.
We didn't ask.
That is awesome.
We didn't ask. They offered.
That's awesome. And if you wanted to, that's something you could post on social media if you wanted to say, to spread awareness. You don't have to, but that is something that you could share.
Yeah.
They could offer like Special Olympics. We made like over $100 sometimes.
Yeah. We had people that were donating to us.
That's awesome. Great work.
just
Thank you guys.
I just tried to throw that in there.
Yeah, well, thank you. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But the tent.
Oh, yeah, thank you for the tent, by the way.
I heard it didn't work out very well.
No, somebody took it off. We were looking for it to put it back on.
Yeah. They gave us a tent with no thing over it.
With no tarp. That doesn't work very well.
No, it doesn't.
What our tarp?
I'm gonna keep us moving, but thank you guys for sharing.
You're welcome.
So how about with Instagram? This one's pretty similar to Facebook. Special Olympics also uses it quite a bit. Do you guys use Instagram? I think in our poll, a few of you did, not everybody.
I don't use social media much because I'm too busy with sports and stuff. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. It's just too much negativity sometimes.
And that's totally fine. And Colton, I think that's a good point because sometimes social media can take too much of our time, right? And in this conversation, we're talking about ways that we can use it as a leader and, use it as a tool. But I think you're making a good point that sometimes it's just too much. It's taking too much time, and it's good to focus on your sports and on work and things like that. I will just say quickly that if you do use Instagram, Special Olympics is another good way to get information about Special Olympics. And Special Olympics does use it to share information. The other one that we weren't planning on, we don't have a slide on, but I'll just quickly pull it up. We were talking about it earlier. And that is YouTube. Because Special Olympics has a YouTube channel. Ooh, it just started playing. Okay, here, and I'll show you guys what this looks like just so you know how to find it. Can you see this? Okay, so this is what it looks like. And here's some recent videos. If you go to playlists, you'll actually find different ones. So here you can see Austin's uploaded the resource fairs that we've done and the leadership modules. So if you look at the leadership modules, these are all of the different modules we've done this year. So you can go back and watch any of the past ones if you want to see them again.
Yeah, and YouTube also, guys, just to let you know, YouTube is also another good tool. If you guys want to do outreach to different new athletes to basically recruit, to basically help Special Olympics get more athletes and basically grow Special Olympics even bigger. So that's another way to do that as well, to basically say, oh, I'm actually one of the athletes with Special Olympics, and I've been an athlete for 14 years or 25 years or 22. It doesn't matter. You can also just say, oh, I would like to recruit more athletes. This is how, I'm doing. Like, I have a person with one of my councils doing a video to basically reach out to recruit more athletes.
Absolutely. So you're saying you can make videos and share them. For sure. Awesome. So let's keep going here. We have a few more things we wanted to talk about. So a few reminders on when you're using social media and you're leading on social media. So you're using this as a tool as leaders to represent Special Olympics Washington. A few things to keep in mind. The first one is that to be informative. So it's a good place to share information, to share details, share facts, but it is casual. Social media tends to be pretty casual. So it's usually a bit shorter. We say use active words. So that means it's not super long and descriptive. You're really getting to the point. Be a storyteller. It's an opportunity to share your story, why you like Special Olympics, how you are an athlete, that you're an athlete leader. This is a great place for it. It's good to explain what you're doing and not use acronyms. So, we use a lot of acronyms. That's like the ALC or SOA, and not everybody knows what that is. So it's good to write things out. And the last reminder here is just to always check your grammar and spelling. Okay, and then Jeff, do you want to talk about leading on social media?
Yeah, so share with your teammates and your community, share updates, information, tell your story, information, other opportunities, make connections, be resourced, be a role model, and recruit new people. So that's in the same line as recruiting new athletes. So that's also doing outreach, or if you guys want your story into a book that me and Austin and me and my wife and Austin are working on. So that's another thing that you guys can do as well, kind of share that on there. But if you have any other questions about the book, you can come message me and I can answer your questions. So that's also another thing that you guys can do as well, that I can basically see your post. So
yeah, Jeff, do you want to, so that's an example of how you're leading and how you can use social media to lead. You have this awesome idea to share athlete stories through a book. And so social media is an awesome option of recruiting people and sharing what you come up with. That's great. Awesome. Okay. Well, actually, I'll say one other thing. So, as leaders, some things you can do right away are, if you do use social media, you can join those different groups. So your areas group and the athlete leader group. That means that when you're on social media, you can stay up to date. So that means that you're getting real information, you're getting updated information. So then when you're talking to your friends and your teammates, you can be a good resource. You guys are leaders, you're really involved. So it's really helpful to Special Olympics when you can share things with your friends and teammates.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
there's also, you guys can also share, like, there will also be like up to date on like sporting events. So like the state games or fall games or whatever. So there will be dates on that on the Facebook or basically on Instagram. So that way you guys can know, oh yeah, sign up, you know, for this month or that month or whatever. So
Absolutely. All right. Last things we wanted to mention here is online safety. And there's actually we did another, I think it was a resource fair about safety online, but we just wanted to cover a few things. So Sean mentioned at the beginning, or maybe was it Tim maybe, that it's really important not to share personal information. So things like your cell phone number or your address, things like that, or maybe anything that's embarrassing. It's good to keep that to yourself. So really having any personal information. It's okay to share personal information if it's like in a specific form that you're giving to Special Olympics, or registering for a Zoom meeting. It's okay to put in your phone number or your address. But when you're posting on social media, that's where it's best to keep that to yourself. Andrew, did you have a question?
Yeah, guys, keep it in private.
Yeah, keeping it private.
Yeah, I do not like about it. Some students are going to get over here. What's this?
Right. You want to be careful. And here, the next slide has another summary of the thing. So don't share private information. Make sure to keep your password a secret. Don't post information that you wouldn't want a stranger to see. Sometimes it's easy to think that, you know, it's just your friends who are going to see it, but it's always good to be careful because you don't know who's seeing that. You can change the settings to be more private. And then lastly, you can block anybody who sends you maybe inappropriate messages, or things that that you're not interested in. You can always share.
You have to be careful sometimes, because your account can get hacked. Like people can hack your account and send you things like hateful messages and stuff. Or
right. If something doesn't feel like it's a good thing, you can always block them. You can always feel free to let me know, and I can help you with that as well.
Also, Leah, also make sure to not only would you see it, but there are other people on let's just call it social media, because Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, that there are other people that use those services, not just yourself, but a lot of other people use it. So you wouldn't want a random total stranger to know that you live here and do this and this, and then the school that you go to, you shouldn't probably post that on social media.
Yeah, those are all great examples. Absolutely. And that is all that Jeff and I have. What I'd like to do to summarize before we get questions is to just say that we'll send you all a link of some of the things we talked about. So as leaders, just be thinking about how you can stay up to date and have accurate information, how you can use social media to share good information with other people, with other athletes, either information that's coming from Special Olympics or information about yourself that you want to help promote and to help share. So if you use social media, I'll send you a list and you can join some of those groups and some of those pages that we talked about. Jeff, anything you would like to say?
Also, if you guys, post stuff on Facebook, I will approve of, things that are related to Special Olympics. So, or Instagram, or like, also the video that I posted about Devin, she's trying to basically recruit more athletes and trying to get more people to relate to like Spokane or whatever she's got it going on, that she's trying to take, bring to the table. And so stuff like that, as well. So, any videos like that, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, she got it. Coming October, she has after conference. She's gonna be on a podcast stuff. I just thought I'd throw you out there, so you're welcome.
Thanks, Austin. That means a lot coming from you.
You're welcome.
So any stuff like that, then I can post it on Facebook or Instagram. So other people can actually see it.
Absolutely. And that's for the King County page, but you all can do the same for your area pages too.
Yeah, and if you also on Facebook or any other areas, I won't be able to see any other areas but King County. So if you guys see spam, just let me know and I will remove it. Go ahead, Andrew.
Okay, while you go, David, you got this special update.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, I'll be happy, keep the staff happy, keep myself, keep me happy. So be a big smile on David's face.
Yeah, so if any other spam you guys see, just let me know and I can remove it off of there. So
Awesome. Any other questions or comments?
I feel that this call is what is it, the module was extremely helpful.
Thanks, Tim. That's good.
That's what
I
we
know
like to hear.
There's so much we could talk about with social media, so this was just a little bit, but it's helpful to think about, how you can use social media as an athlete leader. Devin?
I actually do have a comment on blocking someone because I did that years ago now, and I am now fully recovered from that person. So basically, yes, I just love that session on blocking in someone.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a really
not really
good tool.
interested in it anyways, so
That's a good
just to
tool.
put that out there.
Thank you.
Hey Leah, can I talk to you after the meeting? It's
Yeah, sure.
it's about the mentor for me and
Sure.
Wayne.
Awesome.
But also, Leah, may I also talk to you after a meeting?
Sure. Awesome. Well, I think that's all that we have. Austin, we'll pass it back to you to